Hey everyone, this is Scott with Jenna and Scott Investigate. Figured I'd do a unboxing video and maybe a quick tutorial on the bootube. So let's get started. So basically, when I ship these guys out, this is the box it comes in. I've already opened the top. Actually, it goes inside of another box. It's double box when it's shipped. But if you happen to pick one of these up at, do a local pickup or at one of the Paracons, this is what you'll get. So there is the power adapter I tape to the outside. Open the box up. I kind of already got it in here, so it's shipped a little bit better than this. Let me open it up. So you have the main unit. It's in here. You have power cord, and then the feet and plastic antennas, and then the main unit itself. So we'll go ahead and pull this guy out here. This has the Android on it, and sorry, so I can move this back out of here. So there we got that guy there. There we go. I think that'll work. Let's get it in focus. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so first thing we'll talk about is the feet. As you can see, this thing will sit perfectly fine on a flat surface. So these are really just decoration. Some people like them, some people don't bother with them. But real quickly, I'll show you how to put them on. And I would advise, if you do decide to use these, that they can pop off. The feet usually stay on pretty well, but the antenna can definitely pop off. So you may want to take them off after you use them. I've had one on my prototype where it broke off, even in the storage case, because it kind of gives it kind of a weird profile where you've got these things sticking up in this. But basically what these do is there are a couple spots, little holes there. These things pop in here, pop in there. And then as far as these feet are concerned, they have a triangle and a circle. You see these feet have a triangle and a circle, but they also have a little divot mark there. Whoops. I'll lose it. Let's see if I grab the right one. Divot mark. Oop, wrong one. So, gotta make sure I match them up right. And they just push in. And then same thing holds true for this one. And again, I've had some people that have super glued these in so they don't pop off. I've never had one of these actually pop off, but hey, it's your bootube, right? Do what you want. So that's that. I'll go ahead and put these on too so you can see the full effect. And then again, these are optional, but they pop right in there. Those little spots there. Okay, so we got that. Now we're going to go ahead and power this stuff up. And usually what I would say to do is power up the Android piece first. And again, this is Android. And apologize for all the smudges. I usually try to wipe those off. But I've been doing these demos, so we'll let this guy boot up. And once he's done booting up, we'll do the rest. Give it a minute or two. Actually, it shouldn't take more than a minute. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. Oh, the sound of an Android booting up in the morning. Very silly thing that I have on my desk here. Alright, so this thing is booted up. So now we have the boot tube itself. And as you can see real quick, have many of the main applications that you can use are right on the side here. And then additional ones are in this blue folder. So what we do then, we're at the point where we can slide this guy in. And it should fit in there pretty snugly. I put some silicone bumpers so that way it doesn't fall out. And then you want to turn the speaker part on. Middle button, you'll hear it.
Power on.
Should say
Bluetooth mode. Connected.
There we go. So it's connected now. So now we can get started with the demo. Okay, so now we can get started with the demo. So I'll start with the first app. It's known as Dead Waves, made by Chill Seekers. Hopefully everybody can see that okay. And what this is basically a digital ghost box. It has 4 different sound banks. I usually only use 1, maybe 2. I found that if you turn them all on, it's kind of chaos. I usually keep the scan radio about halfway. I usually don't go above that. I don't turn on the microphone just because the microphone picks up ambient stuff. And I feel like that can maybe throw some false positives, because it can, like, if you're talking in the background and stuff, it can pick that up. So I leave that turned off. Again, you know, results vary. But one of the things, if you turn on one of these, and it'll start cycling through. And while it's cycling through, you've got some effects. If you're familiar with Ghost Box, you're familiar with the concept of echo and delays and things like that. I usually leave all that off. I mean, to me, that's more ambience. And you put some echo on it, and it kind of gives it this additional creep factor, I guess, which works. I mean, there's arguments for and against it. I'm just kind of more just set it and forget it and kind of go. This even has EQ, where you can, you know, add more, you know, bass if you want this thing to be thumping. Again, I leave it flat. What I really like, though, is this visual piece. So if you click on visual, go to start, it does this video feedback loop. So it kind of, and this is where it's gotten weird, because I like this more just for the effect of it. With this being kind of an old retro TV, it kind of does this. But multiple occasions now, when we've used these out in the field at some of the investigations and things, people have claimed they've saw faces in it. I even saw a YouTube video where someone posted about that. I have yet to see that. I'm really hoping that I can capture that. So we'll see. Who knows? You know, I mean, if in theory, if the spirits can communicate through the audio portions of this, there should be no reason why they couldn't communicate through the video portions. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this guy off. And let's see here. Oh, sorry, kind of lost my way there. So the next app we'll do is Necrophonic, and I will tell you, it will be upside down. Unfortunately, this app doesn't auto rotate, and the way that I mean, you could turn, obviously you could pull the bootube out and put it the other way. Certainly could do that. It's the only app that is this way, and the only reason that I leave it like that is because the charger port's right there, so it's easy to charge. Whereas if you turn this over, then you wouldn't be able to charge it. If that doesn't bother you, by all means, pull it out, switch it, and go from there. Again, I'm more about the results of the app, so that is what it is. So again, you can start on this if you're familiar with Necrophonic. And I won't go into too much detail on this app. I think it's one of the more popular ones, again, made by Chill Seekers. There's plenty of videos out there on how to use it, or people that have used it, and various evidence and claims. It does have echo and reverb, so you can turn that on. And then you can put white noise on it. It's funny, it sounded like it said Scott. Okay. Hello? Stop that guy there. Turn all these options off. And then, and what you notice what I'm doing is, to get out of these apps, is I'm sliding from the left on the screen. That brings up the menu. And then you can just, if you want to close them out, clear all. There you go. All right, so that's Necrophonic. Now we'll go on to Paralysis. I said paralysis. No, this isn't going to paralyze you. Perilous. Ugh.
ITC Legion Perilous loaded.
Okay, so you'll hear that. It's loaded. Really, it's just a matter of hitting this button here.
Scanning.
And if you're familiar with how an Ovilus works, this is the same concept. It does have additional speeds, so you could speed it up, slow it down. I usually just let it sit, edit where it set it, and forget it. Kind of been my motto. And what this will do is occasionally it'll pick up on things and it'll spit words out. Again, let's see if we can get it to do something here, and then once it does, we'll move on to the next one. This one's made by ITC Legions.
You are in.
You are in. I thought it said urine for a minute before I read it. Oh boy, it's one of those days already. You are in. Okay then. Now let's move on to the next one. So again, hit that. I'm going to clear it just to... And again, you could let this run in the background. Leave all these run in the background. This Ghost Hunter Tools. And this is kind of like an Perilous app as well. It kind of does some scanning and things like that, and it'll throw words up. The difference, Perilous will actually speak the words. This will just post them on the screen and keeps a history of those. So as you hear it beep, that means it's getting closer to some kind of word. And you'll see the meters will start to go up and things like that. So we'll let it think about it for a bit. I can move this. There we go. Let's get into something. Determined. Now we're determined to make this video. All these apps, I've worked with the developers and got agreements to allow this to be used on the bootube. I've either paid a licensing agreement to license them for the bootube, or I've gotten their permission to use the free of charge versions. In this case, the developer was provided me with the free version. You can always look at buying the actual full version. I think it's like $4. Add some more words. All right. So we got determined. Again, I'm going to clear all the apps. Now we're going to, let's look at some of the other Ghost Box before we get to the sound recorder. So we've got the Cultist Box. This is made by Mark Cultist. He's in the UK. And it again it's very similar to Dead Waves as far as it has multiple banks. This has got 5 different banks. The bars determine how quickly these banks interact. I usually turn on just one. So make sure I got this. So I turn the whole thing. Right now it's off. Turn it on. You see these banks are lit up. So I will turn. And keep in mind these meters. The shorter the line is how the less time it takes for it to scan, and this is longer scanning time. So you notice now it's gotten quiet. Whereas before, when I had it up here, it keeps chatting. Okay, so that's the Cultist Box. It's another great one. We've got the Spiritus Ghost Box. This is the one that the Tennessee Ray Chasers, specifically Doogie, has used a lot. Actually seen him use this at some of the investigations. We had a really wild investigation in Ohio that he was at, and he was using the Spiritus. And this is about the time when I wasn't always a supporter of apps. I kind of had a lot of the same concerns as probably a lot of you out there as far as, what's this thing doing? Is it stealing information? Is it, that kind of stuff? So so I was a skeptic, still am to a certain extent, not necessarily about apps, but just paranormal in general. But hey, there's always, it's always good to explore, keep your mind open. So this is a Spiritus App. Just triggered here, I think. Yeah. So it'll start up. Oh, I guess I needed to turn it on. Yeah, there we go. So let's yeah. So again, this has multiple banks, different types of settings, and then this is the visualizer part of it. Again, if you go out to YouTube or any of those kind of places, you'll be able to find lots of videos of people using these apps. Again, mileage varies, right? I'm a firm believer that there is no one all-inclusive, all-right way to do paranormal investigations. Some people don't like apps, some people do. Some people don't like ghost boxes, and some people do, and then there's everything in between. Some people think that the only real tools is your own mind and your own eyes, and a lot of people swear by recorders. So yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's just all these are just another type of tool in your toolbox. So why not have as many tools as you can? And by all means, it's like whatever evidence you capture, I think it's always a good idea to capture it multiple ways with multiple devices. It's one thing if you capture, let's say if the bootube catches something, you're like, that's really wild. And that's cool, but who knows if it's false reading? You just never know. But if you've also, say you've got your K2 meter or, an EVP recorder, anything like that, some other devices that have also captured something at some time, then now you start putting together, wow, this is getting data from multiple data points. And that's a lot more compelling, at least to me. So occasionally this thing has a 1 minute timeout. That's just keep the battery from running down. So you can. Okay, so let's look at the last one. And this is the app that's based on the Miracle Box by Stephen Huff and Huff Paranormal. Admittedly, I haven't done a lot with this one. Eager to take it out, see what we can come up with. And if any of you have a bootube or have used this and want to chime in, this app, let us know. I'm curious. I've read up on it. I know Huff's kind of one of those controversial people. He's got a lot of fans. He's got a lot of haters. That kind of seems to be the nature of the paranormal investigation world as we know it. So what this does is you can actually select different banks with different types of voices. So for instance, you've got like male elderly, so we could say like male elderly. We hit start. Give it a minute to do its thing. I think I hit, there we go. Okay. So what separates this one is typically you'd have different banks you could turn on in the scan rate, and it would scan through and things like that. What we've got here is the idea is you're supposed to slide this slider, ask your questions, and then slide it back, and it kind of does this recording while you're asking this to pick up the ambient noises and see if there's things there. So for instance, can you tell me your name, sir? And it kind of generates audio based on what's said and things like that. The idea that potentially a spirit could use that. So again, this is another app from Chill Seekers. There's some YouTube videos out there. This is again based on Huff's Miracle Box portal system. So you might want to do some research on that piece, see what else out there if this suits your needs. Again, my goal was to put a lot of different applications on here. Again, trying to go for the all-in-one ghost tool. And there are people that use this. So I put it out there. I worked with the guys at Chill Seekers, and they were all for it, very supportive of the bootube. And so I was like, why not put it out there? Why not put that one out there, Necrophonic and Dead Waves and so on. And real nice group to work with. So I appreciate their support. I want to show the functionality of the recorder. So this recorder will run in the background regardless of what apps you've got running. Used to be in Android, whenever you toggled between apps, the recorder would stop, which isn't a great thing if you're trying to record the Ghost Box apps. So let's go ahead and get this guy started. It's recording. Now I'm going to go to my apps. Let's use Dead Waves. And let's see what we got here. Hello, this is Scott. Just recording using the recorder. I'm going to do a Dead Waves recording and me. Well, hello there. How are you? Can you hear me? Hello? What's your name? Ooh. Okay, so let's go ahead and shut this guy down. Let's go back to the recording. I'm going to stop the recording, save it, and then now you can listen to it, and let's see what we got. Recording. Now I'm going to go to my apps. Let's use Dead Waves. Hello, this is Scott. Just recording using the recorder. I'm going to do a Dead Waves recording and me. Well, hello there. How are you? Can you hear me? See, I picked up both. My voice. Hello? What's your name? Ooh. Okay, so let's go ahead and shut this guy down. Go back to the recording. Okay. There's that. Go ahead and delete this guy. And we'll delete it. And there you go. So that's pretty much the bootube. We're pretty much, our presence is on Facebook and YouTube. We also have an Instagram page. All of it's Jenna and Scott Investigate. You can go to jennaandschottinvestigate.com. That'll take you to our Facebook page. We also have a group specifically for our boo products, our boo lights and the bootube. Again, it's a group of people that own them, and they share videos and stuff, or just enthusiasts that are interested in what we're doing. So I encourage you to join up.